Hey everyone, so I am back today to take a look at single pedal and some of its features here. So I'm looking at the Earthquaker Devices Afterneath, which is kind of like an ambient reverb with some delay in there, or maybe it's more of a reverb delay or delay reverb. It's some kind of a combination of them there. This is one that's not one of my normal pedals. I borrowed this one along with the pitch shifter from another guitar player in town that I play with quite a bit here, and it's kind of interesting. I don't know that it's really something that would fall into something that I would use on a regular basis, but let's take a look at it and see what we think. So I'm using my Telecaster, plugging straight into the front of the Simplifier, and then I'm just using the effects loop to put the reverb in. I don't think it's going to have the best result going through the front of it here, so let's just skip that and just go straight through the loop. I'm using the Fender amp setting on the Simplifier, changed the settings just a little bit. I'm still on a 412 though. It's been giving me a little bit of problems recently. It's doing okay right now, but if it starts giving me problems, this could turn into a troubleshooting video instead. So it's acting okay right now. So this is my clean tone with the Afterneath, most everything set pretty close to noon. So I'm hitting the chord and letting go. It's just kind of hanging out there. So I feel like my normal clean tone is still cutting through pretty good, but it's all this extra stuff kind of hanging out in the background there. So the length knob on the upper left is obviously going to control how long it stretches out there. So if I've got it set just like that, it goes away pretty quick relative to what it's capable of doing. So if I have it way up like this, just goes and goes and goes. It's just kind of hanging out there, kind of providing like a nice background that you could do something else over. And part of that generation you're hearing there's probably it feeding off of the reflect knob. See, it's kind of changing. Starting to bring the signal up, it's feeding back on itself. If I push the reflect, alright, they're kind of self-generating. I'm going to cut that out. We might play around with that a little bit more. So if I bring that down, see it goes away. Alright, so that was the length knob. The diffuse is going to be how I guess you could say focused the controls are going to be there, or the delays. So if it's all the way to the left, I think it's kind of a little bit more focused. As you turn it to the right, it's going to become less focused. I'm wearing headphones right now. You could probably hear more of the little delicate things if you're listening to it on headphones as well. So that really background ambient stuff that you're hearing, I'm sure that even without headphones you can hear, like, oh yeah, it's there, but there's a lot of layers going on with this. So that's the diffuse. Let's see, dampen, I believe that's kind of like the tone controls. So as you're to the left, it's kind of more normal, and then I think it darkens up as you turn to the right here. definitely kind of darker. Let's brighten it up. Cool. Right, let's put it just kind of midway there. Let's see, drag. I think that's kind of an interesting one there. I'm not sure exactly how I would describe that one, other than you can hear what it's doing to the tone there just by turning the knob. That's a cool effect. So that's cool. You can kind of do it either way there with that whole. Or that's a cool knob. And this version of it, I don't know if this is the version 1 or version 2, but it looks like in my research that there is another newer version that's out there that actually has a mode switch that has like 9 different modes that you can kind of work it through there, and then also a expression slash control voltage or CV input, which is pretty cool. Some of the stuff that I saw people doing with that. So this is the one without that mix knob, just something to keep in mind. The reflect, that's obviously going to be how much bouncing around you're going to get with the sound. So you want to be careful balancing the reflect with the length. And it's probably a good idea to set the length where you like it first and then dial in the reflect. If I turn the length down to give the reflect a little bit more space here, so since it's not going real long, as I'm bringing this up, very reflective. That's probably a bit over the top reflective. Again, this is with the mix only about halfway up. Let's try it about there. And it does respond to dynamic playing, so if I play softly, it's not picking up that much if I play hard. Cool. So let's see what happens if we got kind of low with both of these. Kind of bring them up as you go. When do we reach that point of self-oscillating? Oscillation, is that the word? Oscillating? So just a little bit above noon. And it sounds like it's kind of caught itself there. As I turn those both up, obviously the length is getting longer, that's feeding into it. The reflections are getting stronger, so it's starting to build up. You can even see the sound wave on the computer. Alright, let's get rid of that. while you do have a note there, you can kind of get that. I guess we should have done that. We can get this ringing out, and then you can grab that drag knob. How the tails work on this. I'm not sure that this one actually has tails, so if I turn it off, it goes right away. But if I turn it back on, that note is still there. Interesting. And then what if I guess at this point the dampen's not really doing much. Turn those down to kill it there. And then obviously the mix I've got set just kind of right in the middle there, but as we are on the left hand side, we're going to be getting less effects. So what if I turn everything up except for the mix? Let's turn it kind of down. See, it's getting wild back there pretty quickly. Interesting. So, again, that's with these all up. This one is kind of fun to control with your hands, so I do see how the expression output and CV control could be really handy to have on this. Let's kind of do the opposite now. Let's put everything kind of low, maybe about 3 o'clock, and then we'll bring up the mix. So that's not too bad right there. That's probably something that's more usable, but might not be getting the full potential of the pedal here. So I'm going to turn up the mix. That's back to where I've had it. Let's go a bit above that. Let's go 3 o'clock. So I like that too. So that's high mix but low controls for most everything. So from here, let's darken up the dampening. Turn up the diffuse a little bit. Higher mix. All the way up mix. Cool. So I think I have even a better idea of what you would be using this pedal for. To be honest, I kind of like it with the mix kind of in the higher range, and then the knobs kind of set on the lower end of what they are capable of there. This it can get to be a pretty crazy pedal. So I don't know that it's something that is going to be like a leave on all the time sort of thing, or even really working its way into a normal part of a song. Maybe if you have like an ambient bridge or something, or if you've got like a long outro and you're trying to buy yourself some time to tune before the next song or something like that, then this might be a cool thing to do. In fact, you could put a tuner before this, set your reflection and length kind of high, and then get that oscillating sound kind of going that you could have some control over with the drag, the mix, while you're also tuning your instrument. And people in the audience typically like stuff like that. If more so if you're in a smaller place than if you're in a large place where people aren't really paying attention to the guitar player's pedal board or anything. So yeah, it's pretty cool effect here. I don't have anything. Excuse me. I've got some reverb pedals that will do this stuff, but not so much that it's like that's what you go to it for. So I'll go ahead and wrap this video up here, but this has been the Afterneath reverb delay mixture machine from EQD Devices, and hope you guys enjoyed it there, and I will talk to you again here soon. Thanks.